Today, we've had a national tragedy. Two airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
There was a loud crashing sound, and then there was a pause for about a split second, and everyone just ran, everybody.
After 81 years of flying, American Airlines landed in bankruptcy court today. The company filed for Chapter 11 protection against its creditors.
September 11th, 2001 turned out to be the most horrific event in the American history. A group of terrorists hijacked 4 planes. One of them struck the Pentagon and 2 of them collided right into the World Trade Center. And what followed next was a catastrophe that sent shockwaves all across the world. All planes were grounded immediately, people were too scared to fly, and the American aviation sector was in such a terrible state that it almost looked like domestic air travel will be shut down forever. As a result, all the major American airlines started bleeding money, resulting into millions of dollars of losses with each passing day. 46,000 jobs were lost, and the condition was so bad that even major airlines like the United Airlines and the US Airways started to file for bankruptcy. But you know what, guys? Even during such a terrible time, the world was shocked to see that there was one airline that remained profitable and did not register a single quarter of loss throughout 2001 and 2002. The question is, which airline is this, and what is so miraculous about this airline that it had remained profitable even during such a terrible time? Well, this airline, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than the legendary Southwest Airlines. And the most astonishing thing about Southwest is that it had remained profitable for 47 consecutive years until the pandemic hit. And these 47 years includes 2 oil crises, 9/11 attacks, and even the 2008 recession. So this begs the question, what is so special about Southwest Airlines that it has remained profitable even during such terrible times of business? What exactly is their business strategy? And most importantly, considering Mr. Jhunjunwala's latest venture and Go Air's IPO announcement, from the investor's standpoint, how do you analyze the players in the aviation space? The first part of this answer is the incredible model of operation that Southwest follows. To tell you about it, in the aviation space, there are 2 major models that airlines use in order to connect their destinations. The first model is the hub and spoke model, and the second model is the point-to-point model. And here's how they work out. Let's say we have 6 destinations, A, B, C, D, E, and F. If you want to offer flights connecting all these destinations using a point-to-point model, here's how it would work out. You would need a flight to go from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, and E to F. And then you would need to connect A to C, A to D, A to E, and so on and so forth. So in total, if you want to connect all these 6 destinations, you would need 15 planes. But in the hub and spoke model, this becomes relatively easier. Instead of connecting all these destinations using a separate flight, you create a hub O in between, such that if you want to connect A to C, this is how the model would work out. There will be a plane A which will carry all the passengers who want to go to B, C, D, E, and F. And then when plane A lands at the hub, all the passengers will go to their respective flights, which are B, C, D, E, and F. And when those planes fly back to their destinations, automatically all the customers will arrive at their destination. Now on the outset, this might look a little complex, but here are the 4 incredible benefits that this model provides over the point-to-point model. Number 1, you only need 6 planes as compared to 15 planes in the point-to-point model. Number 2, using the hub and spoke model, the planes are more occupied because now you are serving the same number of customers with only 6 flights. Thirdly, due to the presence of the central hub, maintenance becomes extremely easy. And lastly, it is very easy to expand your network because all you need to do is just add another spoke by adding another plane to the network, and then you will automatically get connected to the 6 destinations using the hub. Whereas, if you want to add another destination to the point-to-point model, you will need another 6 planes. Therefore, the hub and spoke model is that model which can connect people from anywhere to everywhere in the most efficient manner. But surprisingly, Southwest does not use this hub and spoke model. Instead, it uses the point-to-point model. Now the question is, when hub and spoke model is such a cost-effective model, why is Southwest Airlines using point-to-point model? And more importantly, how are they generating profit out of an inefficient system? Well, that is because the hub and spoke model has some key disadvantages that Southwest decided to minimize. Number one, the journey time increases by a large extent because instead of going from A to B, you go from A to O and then from O to B. As a result of which, the fuel price also increases, which leads to higher prices. And thirdly, the passengers and luggages have to be moved from one plane to the other plane at the hub, which takes a lot of time, increases the downtime of the aircrafts, and then leads to more cost. And lastly, if there's an emergency or even a storm that delays the first flight, the customer ends up missing the connecting flight, which again needs to be paid for by the airlines. Now, even Southwest understood that in order to connect 6 destinations using a point-to-point model, they would need 15 aircrafts. But the catch over here is, this math of 15 planes is being done with the underlying assumption that the airline wants to connect all these destinations to let travelers go from anywhere to everywhere. But you know what, guys? Southwest decided that they will not connect citizens from anywhere to everywhere. Instead, they decided to select only those destinations which have got high traffic. So instead of having 5 planes that go from A to B, C, D, E and F, they said we will connect only A, B and C because they are high traffic points. And here's where the X factor of profit comes in. If you look at the comparison of the two models, in the hub and spoke model, the flight will go from A to O and then from O to B, whereas Southwest will go directly from A to B without any stops in between. Therefore, because of the long journey in the hub and spoke model, they will need more fuel, which leads to more cost and also leads to more time as compared to the point-to-point model. So all the customers who want to travel between A, B and C, by default, they would choose Southwest. Why? Because it is both cheaper and faster. Therefore, this masterstroke of Southwest got them all the benefits of the point-to-point system like less downtime, low cost and less fuel usage, and at the same time, they escaped from the disadvantages of the hub and spoke model like luggage transfer, costly hub fees or the hassles of missing a connecting flight. This is how Southwest carefully chose their model and hit the sweet spot of both cost and convenience, which eventually became a vital pillar to turn them into a billion-dollar profitable airline. And this in turn gave them a ton of cash flow that kept them afloat even during the times of crisis like 9/11 and even during the 2008 recession. Now the question is, Southwest wasn't the only airline to use point-to-point model, right? There were other airlines too. Then why weren't those airlines as profitable as Southwest Airlines? Well, this brings me to the second superpower that Southwest has cultivated, and that is something called the oil hedging. This is a story that dates back to 1990 when the Gulf War was at its peak. And because of the war, there was a sudden spike in oil prices, wherein the price of oil went up by 100% in less than 1 year. Now, in the context of aviation, fuel is the second most expensive element in the supply chain. Therefore, any increase in fuel prices directly leads to the increase in ticket prices and causes a lot of trouble to the airlines. But immediately after the war was over, the oil prices came down drastically. But even during this time, while every other airline was enjoying high profit margins and low ticket prices, the CFO of Southwest, Gary Kelly, being a history student, took this event very seriously. Because he realized that the world is not too far from another oil spike. So he decided to deploy a strategy called oil hedging. In simple words, it's like oil insurance, wherein Southwest would make a deal with the financial institutions such that they would pay a premium for their fuel today so that tomorrow if the oil price shoots up, they would still buy their fuel at a predetermined price. For example, if today the oil price is $20 per barrel, Southwest would pay $35 per barrel with the condition that tomorrow if the price of oil shoots up to $60 per barrel, Southwest would still pay $35 per barrel only. So from 1994 onwards, Southwest started hedging 20 to 30% of its fuel, and by 2001, they had hedged 100% of their fuel using their state-of-the-art hedging platform. And guess what? This oil hedging strategy, ladies and gentlemen, turned out to be such an amazing move that from 1998 to 2008, Southwest ended up saving $3.5 billion over what it would have spent if it paid the industry standard jet fuel prices. Fun fact, this $3.5 billion translates to 83% of their profit in the same span between 1998 to 2008. And while all other airlines were bleeding money after the oil prices shot up in 2008, Southwest was very comfortably enjoying their profits. This is the second reason why Southwest Airlines is extremely profitable even during the times of crisis. Now this begs the question, how do they channelize all of their money in order to hack their future growth? And finally, this brings me to the third and perhaps the most important pillar of Southwest, and that is employee and customer satisfaction. You know people, Simon Sinek often speaks about this legend called Bob Chapman. He says that when you're a family of 4 and you've got food only for 3, what do? Do you let one of your children starve so that others can have their belly full? No, right? You divide the food among 4 so that one of them doesn't starve. Similarly, great organizations build a culture wherein the organization, just like family, divides the hardships such that all of them suffer a little so that some of them don't suffer a lot. This is how Southwest operates. After 9/11, while all other airlines engaged in layoffs leading to a loss of 46,000 jobs, the CEO of Southwest made a public statement and he said, and I quote, "We don't know what the future holds, but you know this, your jobs are safe and we are going to keep issuing paychecks even though not a single plane is in the air." And as far as the customers were concerned, many airlines refused to give refund and tried their level best to make it hard for the customers to get their refund because those airlines needed cash flow. But Southwest was the only airline to offer a no questions asked full refund policy. Such was the compassion and value that this wonderful company stood by even though it was bleeding money. And ladies and gentlemen, what followed next was nothing short of a fairy tale. The decisions inspired the entire company to work together towards getting the planes in the air as quickly as possible once the grounding was lifted. And from the very next day itself, all the employees returned to work and did everything in their capacity to get the planes in the air. The finance team extensively worked on cost cutting, insurance issues were rectified, new flight schedules which usually took weeks to be created were created within just a few days. Some employees voluntarily started pledging a part of their income to help the company survive and even gave up their profit sharing money just so that the company doesn't suffer losses. The entire staff worked day in and day out to establish security protocols as quickly as possible. Some worked 18 to 20 hours a day while the others did not take weekends off. And you know the most touching instance was that some customers were writing $1,000 check to the airline saying that they just wanted to make a valuable contribution for the extraordinary service that Southwest had provided. You know, it's like you writing 20,000 rupees check to Air India saying that you wanted to make a valuable contribution so that Air India survives. Therefore, this extraordinary level of compassion, love, persistence, integrity and unity enabled Southwest Airlines to cut costs and to remain profitable even during the 9/11 crisis and even during the 2008 recession. And this brings us to the last part of the episode, and that is, what are the business lessons that we need to learn from this case study, and what are the factors that we need to consider while we analyze the potential success or the failures of the players in the aviation industry. Lesson number 1, from a business standpoint, always remember, just because the industry is opting in for a standard protocol, you don't have to opt into it too. In this case, it was the bold choice of Southwest to choose the point-to-point model with the strategic foresight of minimizing the weakness and maximizing the strength of both the models. And from the investor standpoint, you always need to keep finding out those strategies deployed by the companies that separates them from the rest of the herd. In this case, it was the point-to-point model of Southwest. In case of Indigo, it was the sales and leaseback model. Lesson number 2, as Herb Keller says, at Southwest, we manage in the good times so that all of us will be protected from the bad times. In this case, it was the foresight of Gary Kelly about an upcoming risk, because of which they were able to use the oil hedging strategy to protect themselves during the bad times. Therefore, as an entrepreneur, during the good days, you must work the hardest to spot, mitigate and prepare for the risks just so that during the times of crisis, you are way ahead of your competition. And from an investor standpoint, you need to dig into the company specifics to find out what a particular company is doing in order to prepare for an upcoming risk as compared to what the competition is doing in the same market. And last and most importantly, always remember, while good leaders focus on only profits, great leaders focus on channelizing those profits for the betterment of their employees, just so that an innocent family does not suffer just because business is not doing well. That's all from my side for today, guys. If you learned something valuable, please make sure to hit the like button in order to make YouTube Baba happy. And for more such insightful business and political case studies, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.